So many people have been asking, how can we cook this healthy food? And some people have said, oh, when is the cooking class? But instead of having a specific cooking class, what we are doing is we are teaching you the principles of how to cook healthy food. When you know the principles, you can apply it to your situation wherever you are. For example, we told you to drink water after eating fruit after 2 hours, right? And we told you after eating food, you should wait 3 hours before drinking water. But these are instructions, they are not the principle. I'm going to teach you the principle so that you can apply it to your own lives. The principle is that you should drink water only when your stomach is empty after your food has completely finished digesting. So that means if I eat only 1 apple, then it's going to digest very quickly, and maybe in 1 hour, it will finish digesting and I can drink water. But if I eat 4 apples, maybe that will not finish digesting until after 2.5 hours. It's the same thing with food. If I eat a very light meal of just some kind of grains and some vegetables, I will be hungry in 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Then I know that when I'm hungry, my stomach is empty, that I can drink water. But if I've eaten a heavy meal, then maybe my food hasn't finished digesting for 3 hours or maybe 4 hours. So I need to wait until my stomach is finished digesting and it's empty. Do you understand? Yes? Okay. So that means the principle is to drink water when your food has finished digesting. And how do you know if your food has finished digesting? When you feel hungry. Okay. You know, Mrs. Choi said that you should only eat until you're 70 to 80% full.
Mrs. Choi said that
Mrs. Choi said to eat food only until your stomach is 70 or 80% full, not 100% full. But how do you know if it's 70 or 80% full? Cannot see. You can know by this. Has my food finished digesting in 3 hours? If your food has taken longer than 3 hours to digest, you've probably overeaten. So you can adjust at the next meal.
등타하게 찬양다 맞겠노.
So this is how we learn. We need to have a new relationship with our stomach.
이한 아침이 그탈 그 빠침이 오 박사 남금나 같다 스킬 아니야.
We may have lived our lives, our entire lives, without listening to our stomach.
아침 마무 설바 아침이 오쿠 칼리 우게데 누구나타 낭자.
Your stomach is full, but you didn't listen to the stomach.
남이 오 카페티 우바나 오코크나타 나타 나마.
Just keep eating.
나 차이몬.
Now, especially after you've done the fasting, your stomach is going to be very sensitive.
젠슬로 나 오쿠모 작가니고 다케모 남이 오카라 남이 나가네코 남쿠 기앗겐.
So listen to your stomach and hear what it's saying. Is it saying, I'm full, or I need a little bit more food?
나스만데기 마시나다만 겐 앙아 차니코 난다빙아 바 코베다 낭이야 야코 마시나다만 겐.
And adjust.
아루나 등타 나다만 겐.
If you listen to your stomach and you follow the needs of the stomach, then you can continue to maintain good health.
나 오코크나 사케츠무데 나 남바테 무칸치다 강나다만 겐.
You have not been eating any chilies during this time together.
아루 마모 살로바 앞사다게 잘르코 차나베.
Do people eat spicy foods here?
서나 수망 무슬라 그냥 보다 자니고 차마?
Is the food here spicy? In general?
무슬라 그냥 보마?
Yeah, in India, the food is very spicy.
벤비베 인디아데 남인 무슬라 그냥 보서마.
You know, it's funny though. I go to Thailand and India, and if I buy some food from a restaurant, I say, please don't make it spicy.
젠슬로 앙아 탈렌바 인디아네 이방이 처음데 로카나오리 양이 처음데 가사베 하나데 무슬라 콘 파나베 닌나 아마노.
And they say, it's not spicy, only one chili.
미소 안에 이데 무슬라 방다 칼리 로텔로 무사 먹었어.
And then I eat it, ooh, and my mouth is on fire because it's so spicy.
젠슬로 앙아 타게는데 아미 쿠스코라 오 남인 무슬라 방아 아니면 사드가니코 마시나 담나.
For people who have been eating spicy for a long time, their tongue becomes numb.
제랑한 으떠 소마이나 무슬라고 차하 방에 와막니 스테라 마무코부 마시기다다 공아하.
So you keep eating the spicy foods.
어느 그때 나와그 차나다 마다이노.
But your stomach knows what is spicy.
안데 바 낙니 옥 마시야 마이다 그바 무슬라 그랑 복마.
And that's why you develop stomach ulcers and other gastritis.
우니 그면서 낙니 옥고라 나라 게스트리코 낙다마나 어느 그때 옥고 가만히고 마당다 아바치야.
Does anybody have a baby here that's less than 2 years old?
사바 이나 루시그니나 쿠미고 비서가 마마? You know?
Anybody? Oh, you know, we have some participants here who has a baby, only 11 months old.
예로 제 아침 박사 동의과 saksa 자독 자치성 아이고 비서동아.
Let me ask you a question.
남원 능서 생겼으나
Would you give your baby some spicy food?
남이 비서라 너게 잘럭 사급바 차리고 차나다만 아마?
No. Why not? Oh, spicy food. Everyone says so delicious.
많은 사람은 오늘 이 남이 잘럭 사고를 남이 차두고 마.
What will happen if you give the baby the spicy food?
나 제일로 남이 비사나 잘럭 사다고 황경치도 매우 민첩.
One parent said, he'll cry.
saksa 막부하는 게 아니라 뭐 그렇게.
But his body is very clean and pure, and so if you put in this spicy food, it's going to hurt the digestive system.
알게 아침이 오코지안 남이 이렇게 동에 지금 우쿠나 자득가 받고 나게 저대 우라 그렇고 박다 사서온 게.
Now that you've done fruit fasting and your body is clean, if you put that chili into your mouth, if you put oil and meat into your mouth, your body is going to react.
나 제수 다오야 비테고 차임나 오쿠모 사가는 거 딱게 안디 야니 기세본 자르 로 아니 근데 베나고 사게 좀 데데 남니 옥니 닉니간 코 남아 신경 만 게.
Vinod, he has been helping us in this ministry for the last year.
비노 다츠모서 동안 와 미리자 도치린 스모사야 신내로 딱착이야.
And he's from South India where their food is very spicy.
와 막니 미에데 사데리는 아루 미송이 차니 남인 자르 사득바 차니 송아야.
But now his taste buds have changed, and if he eats something spicy, he says, "Oh, that's too spicy. I cannot eat it."
제살로 와 차니고 등탕 다 다오데 아가니야. 오 왕아리 자르 사득고 차나가 만사.
But if we ignore what our mouth and our stomach tells us, and we keep eating those foods, again, our mouth, our stomachs are going to become numb to those foods.
나 옥미 아가니노 그나 차기 차기 좀 어디 앞선 느낌 남니 오빠 우한 나고 노스톡 안에는 바 자라 상하는 것이 방났다 막니.
So remember, here you are learning the principles, and you're going to take the principles and apply it to your situation in your place.
Jeko jin yam rakun atsis kirenga uwa rakun asmi jangi thangal niyo jarek nakta juthum khage chimdenamgi.
And before I forget, I want to make an announcement for those who are taking charcoal and olive oil.
Amuksa golastham jirangan amgalko rain atsin dermi acham.
Actually, last night we finished the last time to take the olive oil and charcoal. But if any of you still have that stomach ulcer pain, can you please let me know after this session? Otherwise, if you are not having the pain, we are not going to give you the olive oil and charcoal this evening. And from now on, we're not going to give it to you. From now on, we won't give it to you. Okay? Let me just ask, does anybody still have stomach ulcer pain? If you do, please come and tell me so that we can continue until it stops hurting. Okay. Another thing I want to tell you before we go into our main presentation is about vegetarianism. What we have been learning here is not about simple vegetarianism. What we've been learning about is the food that the Creator God has given us to eat. Did you ever wonder why God told us to eat the plants and the fruits that have seeds in them? Why is that so important? Luke chapter 8 says that the seed represents the Word of God. One day as I was listening to the lectures, I said, aha! That's why God told us to eat the seed-bearing plants and the fruit of the seed-bearing trees. Every time we eat the foods that God told us to eat, it's like we are eating His Word. And when the Word of God is eaten and goes inside of our beings, wow, it becomes a part of us. Jesus is the Word who became flesh. Jesus is the Word. And so when we eat Jesus, He becomes part of us. Then His life becomes our life. His words, His thoughts become ours. This is the deep meaning in the reason why we need to eat plants and fruits that have seeds. And one day somebody asked me, then does that mean that we should not eat seedless grapes and seedless watermelon? Oh, and I said, that makes sense that we shouldn't eat those because people have messed with God's creation to make it more convenient for themselves so there's no seeds, right? But it's missing the seeds that produce life. And perhaps there is no scientific evidence, but according to this principle, perhaps eating these kinds of man-made seedless grapes, seedless watermelon, perhaps those also lead to disease? I'm not sure, but this is just my thought. Now, when we talk to people who are meat eaters, many of them have the wrong understanding that if you don't eat meat, then you'll be very weak.
Solo ben sakurang basa ang grong imna ang bukan cuma di woman dia ana. Solo ben saja kita cuma mana main berkeri bong.
Oh, you have to eat meat. If you don't eat meat, you're going to lose so much weight and you're not going to be strong, some people say.
Na ben saja kita cuma nanti berkeri kinok nanti nanti kijen apa kopi kinok ane ani pun nak tahu na.
But whenever somebody questions about being vegetarian, I want you to remember this and tell them this.
Ba ang lagi anak sekali how ba ya bisum tu aku cari kemen ni semua dek nak anak kau nak taskan.
Have you ever seen those cows?
Nang maksudku nak tahu ni mah.
They're very big, they're very strong, and they have very strong bones.
Orang namen tak lah, anak kita namen belaka, anak kita tak tahu berkering kan kena.
Have you ever seen an elephant?
Na mengokon nak apa?
They're very big and very strong.
Orang namen tak lah, orang namen belaka.
Both these animals do work instead of humans, the work that it's very difficult for humans to do.
Aduh orang mandi ni tak nak kita ko mandi ni bodoh kam painga.
But what do they eat?
Ante ba wamo mereka sa?
Grass.
Samsiko.
They only eat grass.
Wamara samsiko sa namu saya.
How are they so big and strong?
Ante di wamo mereka sa talan lagi belaka.
You know that the cows and the elephants are also eating the word of God?
Naso asima.
Because if you look in Genesis chapter 1 verse 30, it tells us that for every beast of the earth and every fowl of the air and to everything that creepeth upon the earth wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, and it was so. Actually, ia satu orang mengatakan uang mengira yang disampai ko sana kita, aro betul kena lupa sana ko sana kita isolera ko nah. God told humans to eat the seed-bearing plants and the fruit of the seed-bearing trees. Isolera ngadon jen betul kena lupa samsak bola bitirang ko ungataha. And He created animals and told them to eat of the grass, of the herbs of the earth. And when the animals obey God, they are healthy and strong. You know, actually the problem is not with animals, the problem is with humans who take care of the animals. Humans, because they are so greedy, they want to make more money. So what they will do is they will take these animals and try to make them grow faster, very quickly. In California, where I'm from, they have these areas where they have thousands and thousands of cows in just a small area, and there's no grass there. The cows are supposed to eat grass, but instead they feed them corn. And I heard that as a result of these cows eating other things other than grass, they get diseases. Have you heard of mad cow's disease? I heard from Mrs. Choi that this is a result of these animals not eating the foods that they are supposed to eat. So the blades of grass that these animals are eating, they don't contain a lot of nutrients. Nutrition? So you know, like different vitamins and minerals.
Adengkang tahu dikai vitamin dan kode jian sini beina nangin ba minerals lang.
So when the cows, in order for them to grow big and strong, they need to have calcium for strong bones. They need to have protein and fat.
May nawa mga blaka barkabong nagade calcium ko nga, protein ko nga.
But if you take that blade of grass and you look under the microscope and you do some tests, scientific studies, you're not going to find a lot of calcium, protein, and fat in those blades of grass.
나중에 35 대때 mana microscope ni gensu de unu badita mai tak baru kumrang calcium kabel kamu kulit nak damatnya.
But one thing that we know about cows is they chew their grass very thoroughly.
아침 그러다 제스를 맞추러 35 자로 줘봐야.
When it goes inside their systems, God has made it so that those systems will be able to produce the right nutrients and the right amount of nutrients that they need to be healthy and strong. God multiplies the nutrients inside our body. And the substances that we take in from the food that we eat combine together to synthesize the nutrition that we need. God does this for the cows, and He also does this for us. Many people say, oh, as vegetarians, you're not getting vitamin B12. Because vitamin B12 comes from only animal products. But there have been studies done with people who have been vegan vegetarians for 30 or 40 years. And as they have followed all the health principles, and then they get their blood drawn, they have the normal amount of vitamin B12 inside their bodies. And how is that possible? They didn't eat any animal products. God caused our digestive system to synthesize, to create some substance from the other substances that are coming inside our body. In India, I met many people, and they said that they were diagnosed with vitamin B12 deficiency and vitamin D deficiency. And they said that the doctors prescribed some vitamins for them to take. And this is what we tell them. Okay, change your entire lifestyle so that your whole life is following all the health principles that is in God's Word. It's not just about eating the right foods, but also about sleeping early, exercising, getting sunshine, drinking water at the right times. So do that for several months and then go get your blood tested. And afterwards, if you are still deficient in vitamin B12, then okay, maybe you need to get a little bit of help from some supplements. So I want you to understand clearly that we do not recommend never taking medication or never going to the hospital. When we need to get help from the hospital, from the doctors, we need to go.
제스는 아침 독도로니 닥치는 거랑 이쯤에 칭아리 나까 아침들이 나까나.
If I break my arm, I'm going to go to the doctor.
아니 자 베이스에 대한 독도로 하고 나 베이는
Don't try to do something at home.
마모사가 놓고 하루 종일 닥나 자선 가나게.
Okay, when there's an accident or something, we need the help from the hospital.
제스는 아침 액시던을 하는 데 아침에 독도로 하고 나까나.
And if I need to get surgery, of course I'm going to get anesthesia.
아마 낸디비 야 오코라 바 라카나바 오퍼레이션 간다는 게 있는데 약을 라카나다나.
I don't want the doctor to cut me open without any of those painkillers.
아로 마음 사드가니고 온기자 마모살바 타니 뱅크라 피나데 오자.
When we need to take it, we can take it.
젠슬완슨 라나나가 오나 지금 오코라나가나.
But for many of our lifestyle diseases, the doctors say, here's a medication and you're going to take it for the rest of your life.
어른들께 마음 만들어내는 게 삼고 나제 이나 스멍이 장기 타나도 뺏 이에 삼고 작하야 장기 타나가는 게.
That means that that medication is not a cure.
묵송원이 돼 이야 사원하는 일은 나송과 생각하는 동자.
That medication is not going to heal you.
이야 사마라 나송과 생각하는 동자.
What is going to heal you is following God's way.
안데 반신 꾸만에 대한 지금 이슈미라고 생각하는 게.
And then you won't need to take that medication for the rest of your lives if you follow His way.
아니 근데 아무튼 운이 얘기하다니 그때 얘기했으면 내가 지금 망설바 제가 인더가 삼 작가니까 남편한 거야.
But if you decide you don't want to follow His way, then you may need to take medication.
안데 나 운이 안 하고 카타라는 식당 어디에 나 삼포 작가니까 나니.
Yeah, so I've said a few things, but one of my main points was if somebody asks you why you're vegetarian and do you have enough strength if you're vegetarian, remind them about the cows and the elephants.
양이 아까는요 방황한다는 게 비지테리안 와니오 마이바 블라카니코 만겐마 예스 그랑나 아나 스마나 아는 시간에 대해 마치오니코 데 목마라고 비스카고.
Okay, so now we're going to go to our main lecture this afternoon, and the lecture is on healthy eating and cooking principles.
다음 안층이 무슨 거 안층 산치라 이런 식으로라 안층이 남급바 자아니 아니 소마니 아니 그때 냠라고 자르까니 동안.
So first, we're going to talk about what we should eat and how we should eat.
스칸급바 안처럼 마이크 차는 말로 그 마이크 차는 말 원이 그런 거네.
We already learned this morning that we are to eat according to Genesis 1:29.
안층이 풍월 아버지가 어디서 공부수 알고들 그때문에 잔나는 거 보니 스키를 그만하하.
So what two things are written about in Genesis 1:29?
아버지가 어디서 공부수 말 것이 동안서
We are to eat of the seed-bearing
아침
plants
집에 그냥 그 밑에 거
and
삼각한 거
fruit
밑에랑
that
거
have the seed-bearing trees, right?
제한 버츠 그남이 농부 밑에라고 그 찾아가나.
So now the foods that are included are four different kinds.
아침에 괜찮으야 능탐당 멍브리 그렇고 뭐라고 아침 끝나가나.
We have vegetables,
아침 미샴다거나
grains,
아니 그때 버츠랑
fruits,
밑에
and nuts.
아니 그때 버츠 나이노? 라크바 밑에라.
Like cashew nuts, almonds,
제가
walnuts, peanuts.
cashewnut, walnut 아침 마시고 뭐라고 돼? 양다크바 밑에라.
Okay. So the next principle is eat by faith and cook by faith.
아니 근데 아침에 근데 그 봐라 아침이 베베라 아니지 아니 근데 베베라 아이 소마니.
When we believe that God is our creator and we believe that His word is powerful and living, then we will eat by faith and cook by faith.
아침 있었고 아침이 놓고 봐 아니 베베라 인치인데 아침이 아니와 그러면 아침이 소마니 무슨 아침이라 베베라 답한다.
We will eat and cook by faith because we believe that His word is true.
만약 아침에 베베라 아지 우니 카타라 베베라.
Okay, the next principle is eat the rainbow.
이노 근데 그 타고데 순나리고 차고.
The rainbow has several colors, so it can remind us to eat the different varieties of food that come in the different colors that God has created.
순나리 아침 아까 무슨 탕탕으로 오랑 동화. 우리 그만 이야 순나리 아침에 느끼 비슷하다지. 아침에도 탕탕 잔이라고 찾아가나.
So let's think about some of the foods, the fruits, vegetables, nuts, and grains that are red in color.
하처럼 미션도 그런 거 오면 차급바 롱컨 산데티니나.
What foods are red?
밑에 차급바.
Apple.
애플.
Papaya is orange or yellow. Not papaya. Is papaya red? Cherries?
Cherry,
Lychee?
lechu,
Strawberries?
strawberry,
What is it? Pomegranate?
pomegranate,
What is it? Watermelon?
watermelon, terraza,
What's tirasa?
the watermelon.
Oh, okay. Maybe some radishes that are red?
아니 근데 뭐라고 맞춘 그 차는 것 같다.
Some carrots are red.
몇점 캐럿 그 사과,
Beetroot?
beetroot,
Dragon fruit?
dragon fruit.
Okay. How about orange? What kind of foods are orange in color?
아니 거구나.
Oranges, papayas,
하다데 안치 오렌지 컬러로 내댔잖아. 그 르무트 봐.
pumpkin,
아카루, 테레,
bananas orange?
바나나.
Bananas orange? Some? Are there some bananas that are orange, really? I didn't eat them yet. Carrots?
캐럿,
Mangoes?
대가추,
Jackfruit?
페브롱,
Okay, how about yellow? Pineapple?
아나로스,
Bananas?
테레,
Papayas? Are they yellow? Maybe.
무디폴, 르무타하.
What else? Some squash?
아니 근데 아카루,
Lemons?
아라 각지.
Oh, come on. I know you like to eat food, right?
내 나스미 만나고 마티리구나. 나스미 마차하고.
Corn?
메라쿠.
Some kind of beans?
아니 그 능탕과 가래랑.
Yellow millet? It's that grain that's small.
전체 그만 betul. 이제 르무트와 미시야.
Okay, how about green?
하다도 학생 보니스크나.
Spinach?
미시사 이제 클라이사.
Mustard greens? Broccoli? Grapes, green grapes? Cabbage?
고비.
Lady's finger?
노라이.
All the plants, all the leafy plants, right?
얘랑은 탕색과 삼사랑만.
So many things are green. Okay, how about
아무튼 막이 탕색과 하는 가다마나.
how about blue and purple?
하다도 탕색으로 같은 게 있으니까. 아니 근데 착만 갖고.
Blueberries? Brinjal?
마른.
Some purple cabbage?
아니 근데 고비 탕친구가.
Alright, so what we've discussed is a very small portion of the different kinds of vegetables, fruits, grains, and nuts that are available.
아침이 잠시만데 아디타 미션장하고 아르부츠 그나고 같이 만났단.
So when we eat food, we want to eat a variety.
아침 세수로 차이고 남자라든 탕탕 미션장하고 비테만 차나가는.
Don't eat the same food every day.
아 비싼 차이고 사람이 차나데.
Rice and grams and brinjal and then don't repeat it the next day.
자치비달로 나 미문 바르는 아는데 가래공 차이신데 아르군다로 또 나페나베.
Some people can eat the same thing 3 times in a row.
사고랑데 잠깐도 사나다 만나.
But we want to eat the variety. For this meal, eat brinjal. The next meal, eat cabbage. The next meal, eat some carrots.
자치비 안층달로 바르고 상해중데 황호대원 탕 고비 되게 아침 모두 나타나나.
Then in that way, then your body can get the variety of nutrients that it needs.
안다게 나가는 아침이 비에나 나만이 남부가 비타민 관세를 만났다.
See, we do not say, okay, because you have eye problems, eat only carrots.
안다게 안층 안 한다면 자치비 나면 크로닉단 이게 중에 캐릭터상 사이버니까.
So when some people hear that there is a food that's good for a disease, they eat a lot of it.
사만 못한 만드는 게 산세데 제비티안 남근이 코나다 만나 그도 막 에이차.
Then your body, it takes in so much extra that it has to work very hard to get rid of the waste.
Ono de mereka ua chingi bein bangi rangi tingura name dake uko hojum kanada matskaza.
I remember my friend in high school, she started to eat carrots because it's good for the eyes.
Anga mi repeng jana high school friend person ua makroni gemen carrot ko cha.
She ate so much that her hands started to turn orange.
Ua bangi sa ni kude uni bein bane remutan da batsinga.
This is a sign of excessively eating and the waste is coming out through the skin for us.
Ya, una duga play chani asal musachin unga anu te namija parong hatan kumiso kani bong.
So eat the rainbow, eat the variety.
Uni gemen sundari ko sabo asing dingthang thang samdarang ko sanag dananga.
And also, when you create your meal, create it so that there are different colors on your plate.
Asing jesu chani rang ko dhari asing dingthang thang dakba chani rang ko asing thang naga mana.
You have your rice, your dal, and it's kind of brown in color.
Asing dal de mi nu de dingthang thang.
So add something that's red and orange in color, and something that's green in color.
Matamo thangsek ba matam da chakwa matam de thangsung ba dake.
The colors are good. The varieties of food are good for your health, but the colors will also look very beautiful, and the food will become more appetizing.
Ya, rong rangada mukurnam chak ko sang aiza aniba ching khana na ba ko sang de mukurnam chak ko ba naga mana.
All right, our next principle of what we should eat is to eat whole foods, plant-based.
Asini mungkin skill ani ya.
So whole food, that means the entire food.
아주 지금은 자니고 자니요.
And then plant-based.
아니 근데 이양 아침이 삼자고 방착복 나가나.
From Genesis 1:29, we already know that we're supposed to eat plant-based foods.
아침 아버지 어디서 브랜치들 많이 잡고 자나나가 아침에 나가나.
But the whole foods means that we need to eat the entire food instead of eating the partial food.
아침에 자니랑고 자행관서 좀 타면서 무서워 자니 내게 오나가는자.
For example, when we eat rice, we want to eat the whole grain, not just the inside, the white rice.
아침에 자행원 저라 미 자행 산스베인데 미 능어리 그 뽀뽀몽 딱게 자나가는자.
Because when we have the outside cover of the rice, that contains the fiber and it contains the nutrients included with what's in the inside.
Mana ya mi bigani ning a dungba ga chakba ura chini namganina ongba vitamin na ba bustu.
If we eat only white rice, it is as if we are eating sugar.
Na gpokba mi kusu sagi chudinara chinibu chang apsamwa.
And so, for diabetics, eating white rice causes the blood sugar to shoot up.
Unigi masa jiran diabetes ora nute battesa ura bariat na tamana.
But when you eat the brown rice, the whole grain, then the sugar doesn't spike up and it's slowly able to raise the sugar just enough and then come back down.
Ante bana wa amongrong dakuba liku chagen chungode onede wa nami sugar kuba kumet na tamana.
The same thing with flour. If you eat white flour, they've taken off all of the bran and everything, and so it's like sugar. But if you eat the whole wheat flour, the atta flour, then you have the entire grain, and it not only is it healthy for you, but it doesn't cause your blood sugar to spike.
Andi bana tawo chagen chungode wa na chugum da bitan ko na man taboni andi bani nakku sugar aya chini chibongai kide kumena ta mana.
Now even if you think about fruit, let's think about oranges.
Hansung bitini man chansun kumlani man chansidina.
For your fruit fasting, you've been eating just 2 oranges.
Nasumang ya biti chani kumgo dakingo nasum kumlarong man chansaya.
And let's say that you're eating a meal and you're eating those oranges and you feel satisfied by eating the whole oranges. But if you squeeze the orange juice and only drink the juice, then you are not taking in the fiber. So actually the orange juice that you're drinking is a juice of maybe 5 oranges when you would have eaten just 2 oranges.
Chansipe, Anchini, Ya, Kumlarung, Bonona, Sipi, second Sumani, who are Kumlarung, the song I know.
In that case, then you don't have the fiber, so then it's going to cause the sugar to spike up very quickly.
Universal Bichap, Dungan, Sasa, Jessel, Kumla, Chikumura, Anchini.
And not only that, because you are drinking the juice of 5 oranges, you are drinking in a lot of sugar. Even though it's natural sugar, anytime you have too much of a substance, it's not good for you. So some people ask, should we never drink juice?
The
answer is, it's best to eat the whole food. Instead of drinking mango juice, eat the mangoes. Instead of drinking sugarcane juice, chew on the sugarcane. I remember the very first time I ate sugarcane, just a few years ago, they brought me this big long stick. It was like 1 meter long. And they cut it into about 6 to 8 inch pieces. And they told me to chew it and suck the juice. I said, okay. So I tried, and it was very delicious. But as I chewed this amount of sugarcane, my mouth became tired. I said, I had enough. But I went out to the market, and they were selling the sugarcane juice. And then they would take the 1 meter long sugarcane piece and then give 1 glass of sugarcane juice. Okay, so you can understand, right? Why we want to eat the whole food instead of something that is taken out, extracted from. And so this is the principle for all foods. Okay, let's continue. There is a difference between healthy foods and vegetarian foods. I can be a very unhealthy vegetarian. I could be eating ice cream, cookies, cake, chips, and still be vegetarian. I could be eating the deep fried samosas and other. There's many deep fried things in India, right? So come here. The light is in your eyes.
안층 인도에 안층 나타나면 안제 지금 안층 싱가라 보라 이런 뭐 젠 토지 문학급아 아니.
So if we eat these things, we can still be vegetarian, but not healthy.
나 이런 거 차이보다 비지테리언 나왔다면 게 인디파 남급아 비지테리언 동생. 벌써 미션 사고 동생.
So to be healthy, we need to eat the natural foods that God has given us.
우리 그러면 안층 남급아 미수점도 사봉 나는데 안쓰러 죽으면 이해한다고봐 밑에만 사봉 나잖아. 삼작도 사봉 나잖아.
You know, do you eat tofu here?
That's not tofu. Make what?
Okay, you know what tofu is? From soybeans, they make this kind of a tough curd, kind of like a.
지안과 도듬니고 다리급아.
But in the rest of the Western world, people think that tofu is a healthy food.
살급뱅 니 만들어 느끼 하나 야 쿠폰 거 봐라 남구바 자니 용안이나.
It's pretty healthy, but actually what's healthier are the soybeans.
벤비비 야 남구바 나보다 인디파니 뭐라 원도 드문이사.
Okay, I know here in India you have the veggie meat.
아직 인디아 veggie meat.
What is it? PVG? No.
RCM.
It's made from like beans, and it's kind of like the consistency of meat, right? But it's like dried.
Yeah, from soya.
Yeah, mixed soya from soya. What is that one called?
안층은 많이 먹었어요. 뭐 도둠내고 다리고 베인 닦고.
Soya chunks. Soya chunks, right?
도둠니 비찹.
So actually, these are vegetarian, but they're not a health food.
이라라 미션 속에만 이건 남부가 자리용사.
So that means the soybeans are better.
우니금은 안층고 사람들이 안층이라 도둠고 사람 받고.
This does not mean that you should never eat it.
아니 목소리 동자에 금고 나서 파는 사람 사는 게 동자.
Once in a while, you can eat it and it's okay.
자기 사람 마시고 찬양다 먹게.
Okay, I bought some soy chunks to make one dish towards the end of the seminar, so that you can try it.
아야 도둠니 비차고 다 속나갔다 라바하자고는 났으면 찬이나가 먹게.
But in these 9 days together, we're only going to eat it once.
근데 왜 약간 나서 사서 사나다 먹게.
Don't eat it every day. So processed foods are not health foods, even though they're vegetarian.
우한다 그거 찬이나라 미션 잡에 옮긴 성분 한국어 찬이나 옹자.
Even noodles that are made from whole grains, they are still processed.
안층 그나다마나 지안 뭐래는 다리가 미쳤다고 뭐 안층 나처럼 노드스 하기는 왜 안 해 그래.
So they're not healthy foods and they're vegetarian, but they're vegetarian.
우리 한번 미션 잡에 다리가 와 내가 남거는 그자.
So you can eat them once in a while if they're made from the whole grain.
근데 왜 나서 마스크를 찬양다만 게?
But most noodles are made from white flour.
안데 왜 방아 노드 상한 뭐에 다니고 다리고 서는 마야.
And most of them are deep fried.
아루 뭐랑 알아? 도지 나서 서는 마야.
Those are best to be avoided.
안츠로랑 호gel로 되고 남받고 와.
Okay, next principle of healthy eating is that food must be seasoned properly.
아니 근데 아침에 차인 봐 밑에랑 알아? 무시니 그다 문급이랑 오늘 그나가.
When you have the right amount of salt in food, then suddenly you say, this is delicious.
아침 전설로 차니고 차이는 가리 중화동이 있으면 오 나면 토하님 나가나.
And when you have the right amount of food, it's good for digestion, especially because it makes your taste buds happy.
아니 근데 아침 나가그다 차니고 차긴 중인데 우라 아침나 나가리고 나다마나 아니 근데 아침고 차도 그거고 막.
Now, since you've been doing fasting, you're going to be even sensitive to salt.
아침 야 오쿠무 차가니고 다케나 하던 사라 야 가리니 그러면 남에 되긴 맛이었다만 게.
And so we won't put too much salt in your food.
왜냐면 안처라 차니고 가리고 방이 나타나는 자.
But you will still think that it's tasty.
안데 봐 차투나만.
But if you've been eating lots of junk food and processed food and food from the restaurants outside, then you're going to say, oh, this is so bland.
아층이야 이게 제 카이 원 제안 독한동만 그봐 자녀가 생각 아유 이런 남면 가브라바 그거 안 하는 게.
Right amount of salt is important.
왜냐면 가리코 남면 작할래니다 아층나 중화가 작할래는 남면 낭충 부마.
Now the next principle is very important.
아르문급은 야 남면 낭충 부마.
You must eat the foods that are delicious, that are tasty, but that follow the healthy cooking principles.
안층이 자리고 자기는 도급봉에 주고 안층을 이야 남미 사람 나갔다 연양 보자고 그런 거 나타나.
If the healthy foods are not delicious, then nobody will want to become vegetarian.
찬스베 안층 연이 섭도고 사니요 와 남미들끼리 송이요 난 자니고 만장 있으면 되고 말은 미션 저거 사고 나가 스카리 동자와.
So we're going to give you some tips to know how to make the food delicious.
은희금은 아침 말이게 비자고 자토고 옹에 다녀야만 은희금은 아침나 미션 나가 스팅야.
I'll tell you right now. The way that you can make the foods delicious without oil.
아침 도 그림 해득기 자토고바 자리고 다리나 가만 게.
You know, in fact, you can make your dal, your grams very delicious without oil.
아침 제가 나다만 나 제가 아침이 부처 군단가 바니 그때 다니랑 가리 도 그림 남이 자토고 봉마.
There are certain foods. If you're a cook, you know that certain foods make the food very tasty. If you're a cook, if you do cooking, then you know that there are some foods that you put in together to make the food very tasty.
아침 송잉온 와 송잉과 박사나가 문급은 코스카게 전에 자동봉 아니면 아침 당담나.
Onions, garlic,
라스 나누데 라스 거
tomatoes.
알루. 바른 메티.
Tomatoes, right? Not potatoes. Tomatoes, the red tomatoes, yeah.
바른.
These make foods delicious.
야라 남미 아침 자동봉 나다마나.
If you put a little bit of ginger and cook with ginger, it might make a new flavor.
아로나 에침코 치스카게 친구데.
But also, when you take nuts and seeds and you grind them and mix it together with food, it makes it tasty.
아론 박사는 번이게 믹스드랑 거나 남에게 그 근데 때문에 그 스캔스드랑 거 자동봉 나다마나.
You're going to start tasting some salads. And in the salads, we put some roasted peanut pieces in there. Oh, and it tastes so nutty and delicious.
나스만 나다마나 저 제소 찾는 거 다른 우노와 바담 그탕고 나 때문에 우노 분다니고.
When you cook your vegetables and you want to have a different taste, a creamy taste, as if you put milk inside, instead you can take some cashew nuts, raw cashew nuts, or almonds, and blend them in the mixer, mix it together with water, and cook your vegetables.
아침 문급에는 송아리 때문에 아끼면 누드랑고 어디면 송아나 때때 아침 계수나드랑고 스키무나 송겐송대 우랑한 자동봉 나다마나.
So you can take the different nuts and seeds, and even coconut, I don't know if you have available, coconut, and use it inside your cooking.
이렇게 아침에 등 탕탕 붙으랑고 나데 아침에 나렇게 이랑고 아침 다리스 나다마나.
Actually, here in the Northeast, we have found that since you eat a lot of boiled vegetables, you are more than halfway closer to eating healthy than the rest of India.
아니 그때부터 만나지 나중에 이야 노리스티 만내랑 오니 나중에 몽수마테 늦타랑고 차가고 아니면 이야 인디아데 넘바투바 다케 옥나까마나.
Okay, now this 40-60 principle is a very important principle.
다음 증은 속대야 속도 야 이랑 분야게 주제에 남미남 성구가 증나오만.
In most of India and in Southeast Asia, when we see the food, we see the plate, somebody's plate, and it's like a mountain of white rice and a little bit of dal and a little bit of vegetables.
아침에 나가면 야 제한 아침에 에시아 동과 사그메 에시아 동 사그레 야 살라람 에시아 동과인데 미크 방에 정도를 해던 게 근데 이번에 달고도 치는 게 근데 방게자 당색과 삼당 하고 나니 나가면
And it's white rice.
아니 그대원 급고급 미사.
So because of these eating habits they're causing many diseases.
이야 안다 뭐 자니 비라고 자클라니 아시고 말아 빵아 사비시고 만났다마.
So while you're here, you're experiencing the right proportions of food to eat.
나스마이 노 마이코 차고 이안 나송니 비나 나가 그다 차니고 연와.
Now, 40% of the food should include all the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats.
아치 이노 속프린 그바 이노 아층야 야 비타민하고 한층 낭타마나지 카이
Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats.
아니 그때
This means that all of your whole grains, the whole grains, like rice, atta flour,
목초대 이해랑 그물고 아지카이 미 아니 그때 아따
also includes starchy vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, tapioca, corn.
아니 그때 아침 끝나다마나 미스랑원이 알루 탐랑.
This also includes your dal, grams, beans, and nuts.
아리랑은 달랑 박사 아로 밑에 부츠랑 박사 전 찬타바니고.
This should be only 40% of your meal.
이하랑 알아 증리 자니요 수프리 그램 퍼센트 나가나가.
But usually it's 100% of your meal. Or maybe 98%.
나스망 소스쿠셋 바 소스쿠다경 예송네.
Okay? But 60% of your meal should include cooked vegetables, raw vegetables, salads, and fruits.
나스망니 이야 속독 퍼센트 나스망니 자니 막사나바 나스망니 아직까지 미삼자랑고 달랑고 도나니 옹나가나가.
So that means that most of your meal should be fruits and vegetables.
뭉쳐мот이 나스망니 자니라 미시삼자 올때 비케랑 나가나가.
Okay, what's the difference between raw vegetables and salads?
한층에 뜨는 그탕 비태 아니고대 미션작 아니고대 사드니.
Raw vegetables are just the vegetables that are cut and eaten without being cooked.
아츠라 지안 그탕 사는 거야 지안 안층 내리면고 찬양감나.
We may have some carrot sticks or cucumber sticks or pieces of tomatoes.
아츠라 제카이 바름라티 캐럿 이나 그런 거 아츠라 라티 찬양감나.
Salads, we do take the raw, the uncooked vegetables and we take a few, mix them together, but the salads always have some kind of dressing, some kind of sauce.
안디번에 아침 차트니데 등탕탕 문다금은 미시섬사랑 있나 우리 등탕 것은 감나.
Salads are a wonderful way to eat raw vegetables.
차트 잔이라 아침 등탕하게 아침에 차트부공이 잔한데 닥창이고.
It tastes so delicious, you want to eat more.
나면 차트부공 아루나 잔스쿠게.
And actually, you get more nutrients from the vegetables when they're raw than when they are cooked.
아침 그 탕사게서 지금은 안사라 우니고 만났다. 낭이고랑고 만났다.
Okay, so when you start taking a look at your meals, as you finish your recovery meals, you will see that 40% includes your grains, proteins, and fats, and 60% includes your vegetables and fruits.
아침 아침이야 남플라타니 미국 차이니만 아침 그게 나가면 아침이 제가야 목성학교대 소프리데 아침을 많이 먹었어. 아제카의 달
40% is carbohydrates,
carbohydrates, protein,
fats.
아니고대 fat. 아니고대 아침이 소토 퍼센트로 아침에 제카의 미션닭이랑 아니고침 나가면.
So now all of your life, your habit has been to eat a lot of rice and a lot of dal or grams, but now you have to think and reduce that portion and take more vegetables and fruits.
나스만 이거 정도 플레이 잘하는데 나오 잔치보제고대 나스면을 건데 우와 미션닭이랑 고방바디 잘만 하다.
Okay, and the next principle is that there are 5 parts of each meal.
야 문거보나라 멍봉아 등탕탕 차아니랑.
The first part is a grain, a whole grain.
스캉바라 부철. 지금은 부철.
Brown rice or chapati or millet.
아망롱 아니 아따.
So there are many grains. Here in the Northeast, there aren't so many grains. But as long as it's a whole grain, right? Then we can use it. The second part of the meal is a main cooked dish. It could be a cooked vegetable dish or a few vegetables together with some beans. Or maybe it might be some kind of soup. Maybe it's a dal or some kind of grams. Okay. And the third part of the meal is a cooked vegetable. Here in the Northeast, you're very good at eating the boiled vegetables, so you can think, okay, let's have one boiled vegetable plain with a little bit of salt. The fourth element is a salad. And the fifth element is something raw. Not cooked. It might be carrot sticks or cucumber sticks. It might be pineapple pieces. It might be watermelon. I'm going to teach you tomorrow what fruits and vegetables you can combine together and what you should not combine together. But when we have a salad, we want to eat either raw vegetables or a raw vegetable fruit. I'm going to explain that more in detail tomorrow. Okay, and the order, don't have to worry about that. The next principle is the order of foods to eat.
계단이
In your meal, if you have some kind of fruit or something sweet, eat that first before you eat the rest of the food.
안친 사이몬 제일 치유가 엄마 오빠 안친 스강 차나가나.
Because sweet things get digested in our intestines.
만약 이 치유를 안친니 미국니 어 고좀 가니 그만나.
So that means it has to pass through the stomach and then go into the intestines before it's finished digesting, absorbing.
오늘의 메라카 이 아침이 자니 동 원크전 우어라 호동 와니코 닥나 만긴모.
Okay, so if you eat your whole meal and then afterwards you eat some fruit, then that fruit has to wait until everything is digested and then pass through to the intestines to finish digestion. And during that time, that fruit may ferment and rot with all that food in the stomach.
아침 미스코 자니 자마노 야 밑에고 자겠지 뭐데 우어 밑에라 아침이 다이제스트 하고반고 비숑 안한 자마나.
So you don't have to do it many minutes before the meal, but just at the beginning of the meal, eat your fruit first and then the rest of your meal.
네, 이거 닭하니원 미국 사는 스카 약고 닭하는 게 준비됩니다.
All right. Next, beans, nuts, and good fats. These help meat eaters to transition to become vegetarian.
카레 아니 근데 무슨 그런 거 봐, 이런 남거 봐. 찬영아.
It helps you feel satisfied.
아니 난 아주 추는 거 맞다.
Okay. The next principle is be creative and use the foods that are available.
아니 근데 뭐가 보나라 아침에 찬영고 타레니 아니 근데 만나면 그거 옹아다니.
You don't have to buy expensive foods that are imported from other countries to be eating healthy.
안서라 남거버 찬이고 찬나 만나거든 그건 청로 브레 찬나는 공자.
Just to follow the principles that you learned and find the foods that are cheap and that are locally available.
나스방이 제 스키라그면 우아 스키니코 나스면 자긴 수 나스면 얘 다음 오면 그바 아침에 송화된 건 만나감게.
Okay, what not to eat?
아다들 마이코 찬나다 남자.
Okay, don't forget all the things that we talked about that we should eat.
아침 마이코 나타나와 스키게 물고 아침 뭐하다 남자.
One time I gave a lecture and I finished and one lady said, "So what can we eat?"
이제 저 아가나니까 맞서던데 작성을 마이코 찬나다 남자. 예스가네 그 닥동아.
I said, "Remember at the beginning we talked about the rainbow?"
근데 네 나랑이 순다리님은 아니면 기스래요.
And they forgot because they were so worried about all the things that they should not eat.
우아나 만에 오라는 자체냐.
Okay, first, what not to eat? We should not eat animals.
스캉바 아침 만에 오고바 막으로 찬나가나가 뭐 찬나자.
Pigs, cows, chicken, fish, sea creatures, insects, these are all considered animals.
아침은 그나가 만나와 마추 도 나토 야 사관이 정원이야 그거 나서라 자리 느낀다다.
We should not eat animal products.
아침 막으로 다리 그거 찬나가나자.
Milk, cheese, yogurt, ghee, buttermilk, curd, goat cheese, paneer.
दूध आणि कुठे cheese
Cheese paneer.
आणि कुठे दूध निवड खायचं खाली का बा?
Yogurt is like curd.
या दोय दाखवा.
Ghee.
आणि कुठे दोची आणि कुठे घी माचू दूध को खात का बा?
Cow's milk, camel's milk, goat's milk, sheep's milk. They told me in India I have to name all of them.
아침 인디언 나가면 야 웃니 दूध, 도복니 दूध, 아니 그때 마추니 दूध.
But what about eggs?
바로 건 도치야라.
Eggs, when they are sold in the markets, usually are from the eggs that come from chickens that are kept in the cages, and they're very unhealthy.
아침 다우 바드랑 만인게 봐 도 붙이랑아 제안 제비폰 남의 닥티 우아망을 장기 타나다 만기자 그봐 디아코니 도치에서 와야.
And many of these chickens have antibiotics and hormones pumped into them.
아루 방어 도랑아 좀 항상 사비시하고 그거 봐.
So the eggs from those kinds of chickens are not healthy.
아루 원자 그거 도 붙이라나 그 봉자.
But if you are raising your own chickens in the countryside and they're eating the grass and the grains that are out in the open, then their eggs may be okay to eat.
Andi ba na kami no ko dirga pa sila ng samjak thangsek rambo sa awan hay daw rang namgubok na badonga.
Especially people who are very weak and need extra energy and nutrients. They need to eat eggs sometime.
Basta ko de mutta mandan de bilkriya nandi mo mara chiwa sana gana.
But for most people, especially if you're overweight, you probably shouldn't eat many eggs.
Andi ba jirang na agre bultuga wo mo surga.
The yellow yolk in the middle of the egg has cholesterol as well, so we want to be very careful with our intake of eggs. Okay, we do not use oil while we cook. Oil, when it's heated up, it reaches a smoke point, and that creates carcinogens, the things that produce cancer in our bodies. In addition, oil is not a whole food. The oil is pressed from some kind of natural food, and just that oil is like accumulated and used to cook.
Mana ia thora wa dengthang sa bosuran ku nami jetkumen gata arura namkupa chari dongsa.
So if you need to fry something, instead of using oil, use water.
Aching mai kurang jona nangin samde thobu takalni bodula char chipo takana kana.
Or you can use a vegetable broth.
Ani ko achara mishamdani chipo takana kana.
Here in India, I don't think you eat a lot of soup, right? Like watery soup.
Aching India bangan buchi takin ngamu. Cha.
Well, in Korea, they like to eat soup, and if it's just water in the soup, it doesn't taste good. So instead, they make a vegetable broth by taking some vegetables and boiling them for about 30 minutes. Then the flavor from the vegetable comes into the water and makes the water tasty. And when you use that vegetable broth to cook or to make soups, it makes the food very delicious, as if you have put some kind of flavor enhancers in there. Now there is one oil that Ellen White said in her writings that is okay to use. And that is 100% cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. But still, we do not use it to cook. It has to be 100% extra virgin. And it has to be cold-pressed. When they get the oil, they do not heat it up. Instead, they just press it in a machine, and it's cold. It's not heated. And there are many fake olive oils that they actually mix together with different kinds of oils. Now, olive oil is expensive, so really, you don't need to use it. In fact, we have been using the extra virgin olive oil for our olive oil and charcoal mixture for the people who have stomach ulcers. It's like a medicine. But sometimes we can use it in some salad dressings. Or if a certain special dish needs a little bit of that flavor, after you cook the dish, you can put a little bit of olive oil in it. Okay? Right. And if you are making something with meat, like, not meat, if you're making something with wheat, like some kind of pancake, something that has wheat in it. So, and then it's going to stick on the pan. You can take a tiny bit of oil on a little piece of paper and just wipe the pan so that it doesn't stick the first time.
오늘도 우와 삼덕고 토코 온티사 농보적거데 우와 마스캅잖아 그다.
Afterwards, you won't need to use oil.
오늘 자만데 토고 작나가나 그자.
Okay, next, what not to eat. Don't eat blanched vegetables. This means don't eat partially cooked vegetables.
하여튼 아침에 미션적 제건 산안한 제건 산안적 어리기분이 있구나.
Some people used to teach that when you take the green leafy vegetables, you should just put it into hot boiling water and then take it out so that you don't lose the nutrients.
मतलब 만드는 게 정말지 지구 등하게는 전살로 치든 바울 미션적고 승부라 때문에 라플라는 그 제건데 와 마음 비타민을 그 맞잖아 그다.
There are two problems with that.
아니 뭐 그리 이렇게 닦는 때문에.
The first problem is that if the vegetable is not completely cooked, then it's going to be hard for digestion.
야 미션가가 남에게 문장이 친구들은 안 친니 야 호종 간이 이거는 보나다 뭐스까.
Then second, if you just put the vegetables inside the boiling water and take it out, then the vitamins and minerals will be left inside the water.
아니 근데 물사고라는 게 와제 낮에 서로 미션가고 나서 스카게 찍는데 우와 못담 비타민하고 대 우와 치유를 생각하면
So instead, when we cook the vegetables, we cook it with the right amount of water so that we don't throw any of the water away.
우리 그러면 아침 미션가고 속에 원 바디다 치고 남아 우고 돈내문나 송나나 아재 하다서 온티사바 지고 그만나 남자나 그다.
Right? We talked about rice with just enough water.
아침 메롱 미니 그러면 아마나 아침 미 코마이게 송나나만.
Don't cook something and throw out the water, otherwise you're going to be throwing out all the nutrients.
다 지고 막이 루에 먹나 미코 때 먹나 그거 갈게 근데 나서니 낭이 막 하게 그리 갈았더니 하.
Okay, vegetables need to be either fully raw, completely raw, or completely cooked.
아침에 미션 동거 사니요 지금의 그 탕 아니 근데 이게 아니.
Okay, what not to eat? Don't eat spicy foods.
한지 다우데 지안 모스라 동과 사니랑 말고 고쳐나 말이요 사는 자원이 미스카나.
These are stimulating, irritating foods and spices.
아침은 나가마나 지안 비바치 문학 그바.
Chilies, peppers.
제 잘레.
Raw garlic, raw onions.
아니 근데 라슨 그거 아니 근데 라슨,
raw ginger, cinnamon,
달치니,
cloves.
Can you repeat? 사과하는 게 cloves 라는 거 같아? Cloves.
I don't know how to describe it.
Rome.
Okay. Anyways, Ellen White talks about spicy, irritating foods. Ellen White talks about spicy, irritating foods. And she tells us that it's not only bad for our physical health, but it also affects our temper and our passions. Okay, it's best to avoid spicy foods. Okay, we should also avoid eating processed foods like junk foods, or packaged foods, instant foods. In those kinds of foods, there's... Sorry? Oh yeah, raw garlic, raw onions. Okay. Right.
You know, may manatinga rasin gepo ketang sanira ya chingni pressure ne. Yeah, pressure anga namani na anatinga.
Okay, so they also have said that raw garlic is good for colds when you're sick. So now, what you have heard is this: that raw garlic is good as medicine. If we keep eating raw garlic, it's going to destroy our stomach lining. And actually, blood pressure, if you just follow what you learned here, your blood pressure will not go up. So the raw garlic you can use as medicine. When somebody is sick, they're catching a cold, you might eat a small amount, but don't eat so much because you're going to burn your mouth, your throat, your stomach.
우리 이번 아침 승부 보고 차이는 안처럼 방에 생각하는 거 저거 내 안처럼 먹고 야 가만히 그 만져나겠다.
And now raw onions, sometimes we use inside salads.
와서 아침에 승고 아침 잡는 닭가라는 걸 잡하라.
But we want to follow the principle of not eating the spicy foods.
나 지금 니하고 다르게 좀 안처럼 모슬라 그냥 뭐 찬이라고 생각하는 항상.
So the way I have found the best way to make the raw onions not spicy is to slice them very thin and small and to soak it in lemon juice for maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour.
안떻게 나가면 나지 아침에 그 차에 그탕 차인 거 나서 그 충분히 된지 쓰면은 오고
Sorry? Lemon.
각지 붙이어서 쓰는 나가면
Okay, you might be able to soak it in just water, maybe for longer than 1 hour, I don't know. But just make sure you soak it long enough so that the spiciness goes away.
아침에 기다 괜찮은데 와 모슬라 그냥 말아 지나다니 보면 나가면
Okay? Alright, do not use flavor enhancers like MSG. Flavor enhancers like MSG. Monosodium glutamate. People in restaurants and things, they put this in there so that the food tastes really good, but it's a chemical.
아지나모도 마시고 야구 차니라
Okay, it's called MSG, monosodium glutamate. So this has bad effects upon the brain, some studies have showed. In the packaged foods, in the junk foods that you buy, they put white sugar, white flour, oil, milk, and MSG.
아니 근데 아침이야 백개 가가봐 자냐 그 브레이크 운노 치니 모이타 아니 근데 하리 아니 근데 이야 두드 아니 근데 이야 MSG 고 그르나린다는 나가면
And so it causes the tongue to enjoy the taste so much it becomes addictive.
야 라라 야 차토 부바다케 아침이 उसको 원하가나.
Okay, next we should not use the chemically produced salt. You know the table salt that we all use? They add iodine and they make it chemically. Instead, we want to use natural salts. Rock salt. Like Himalayan rock pink salt is very good.
Himalaya rock 가린이 아니야?
Or sea salt.
아니 근데 사갈로니 가리?
Okay, next. We should not use the refined sugar, like the refined white sugar.
아니 근데 아침에 치리고 나타나는 항상.
Instead, if we need to use something sweet, use a raw, natural sweetener.
아니 근데 아침에 치고는 안 치고인데 야고 아침에는
You can use 100% honey or raw coconut sugar, raw palm sugar, raw brown sugar, whatever is raw and natural.
아침 비자부 치에는데 나르켈 아니 근데 파프라 아침에겠네. 자기가 아침 작하는데 만나.
That's right. Use jaggery instead. Okay. We do not use white rice or white flour.
아침에라 보급밤이 아니는데 아따고 뭐에다고 딱 나가는 거야.
These are not whole foods.
얘는 지금은 찬이 공장.
But we use white rice porridge for our patients who have stomach ulcer problems.
아침이야 미 보고 내 제랑만
The reason is because it's the most easily digestible. It's used as a treatment. And if somebody is very weak and they've lost energy, they need instant energy because they're so hungry, white rice provides that instant energy because it's like sugar.
아니 근데 지금은 안되게 자꾸 자니 야스로 니키가 니코만이야 얘라 와 지니코 만나겠다 스미베이는 닥센코 나가면나.
Okay, and rice. Once again, we already talked about this. Don't boil and drain out the water.
아니 근데 지금 미니기면 아는 건 그거 때문에 지도를 내려간다.
Okay.
간단하게 나간다.
All right. Also, we do not eat fermented foods.
아니 근데 아침에 예지한 분다금은 소금은
You know what fermented foods are?
나중에 내가 나와 지한 소금은 아니라 말하거든.
So the foods that are fermented, when they go inside our bodies, then they become rotten and spoil.
아니 그 진짜로 이해한다 그거 소금을 받침을 비행을 계속 알아 아침이 비행 아우 무슨 가능하다마나.
And as we have learned, things that ferment and rot inside our stomachs, they turn into bad blood.
안되게 다 계속 되어 알아 아침이 Manaka, kung sinapin namgizaw ating natsumpo, ating bibir ako ito kanagaman na.
And it's the bad blood that causes bad circulation, which leads to diseases.
Ani ko di ating sirang ko nuso kain man iya atsumpo namgizaw pa sabi siyang kuha ng tamang na.
So I understand in the Northeast they have this fermented soybean paste.
Yan ulisto ya sukuman tudong mo.
Actually, Koreans also have a fermented soybean paste.
아니 근데 코리아분이 이 소금 노동동안.
But in the Bethel Sanitarium and to eat healthfully, they don't use that one.
야 세네트리문데 야나과 자니고 찾아.
Instead, they'll make a substitute with beans.
우니 보도에 제가 등탕 대한 다익 붙을 그냥 오다가고 참 다리스까.
Mrs. Yum, the other Korean lady who has come with us, she was actually the head of the Bethel Sanitarium kitchen for almost 5 years.
어제는 지금 혹시 있다고 봐, Mrs. Yum, 우리 지금 세네트리문으로 서파리 때니 나면 루시보랑나 나면 정말 서파리 하나의 작품으로만.
So I'll ask her if she can teach us how to make the healthy kind of soybean paste.
아침 우누스 나가는 게 많이 되기야 도도니고 다리나 가능한.
Grapes are a fruit that ferments very easily. So grapes should not be eaten with any other food, or any other fruit. It should be only eaten alone as a fruit meal.
완전 잡고 쟁은 문급은 자리를 모서 아침 장난다 남자. 잡고 먹고 산다.
Right? Because grapes, they use grapes to make wine. It's easily fermentable.
아니 근데 얘는 소름나 다 어떻아?
And last, we should not use vinegar.
아니 근데 보통 그걸 아침 비네가 뭐겠니? 매생부치.
Vinegar is very good as a cleaner for our fruits and vegetables.
야 매생부치를 아침에 슈글라가 나면 남겨봐 엄마.
It's a very good cleaner to clean our kitchens and our bathrooms.
아니 근데 얘는 아침에 밥을 지는 거 슈글라 나면 남겨봐 엄마.
But inside our stomach, it's not good.
안돼 아침에 홍치 남겨봐 엄마.
Instead of using vinegar, use lemon juice or tamarind juice.
이안 다그바 또 잡하는 데대 아침에 야 쟁 아니 근데 각지 다그바 잡하는 남겨봐.
But the worst things to avoid most of all is overeating and eating between meals.
남의 남자가 걔는 아니데 원 그리플릭사 했다니 아니 근데 드레이 그거 만다니.
In nature, we can find clues about how much of a food we should eat.
아침 나가거나 아침 나라 받는 남아고 자니고 자나다 얼마나 하.
You know your cat. Okay. You know apples.
아침에 피스데 애플.
You can just pick it from the tree and eat it.
나 보니까 기분은 차도.
So apples, I think God made for us to eat, pretty freely.
아침 나 이솔 베르베고 또 자나다 오마다 하.
But the cashew nut is very difficult to get.
안데 바 캐슈넛 그 만나면 아토봉자.
Right? You have to make a fire and burn it very carefully and then get the inside out.
아세로고 남에다 캐슈넛 가능한 아니고 람파 가능한.
It's too hard to crack open.
아래 이해라 아토봉자.
So when there are fruits like that, that means that God has told us eat just a little bit.
이해한다 그런 거지? 광기산 장군님 나츠는 그러다.
Jackfruit is delicious, but it's very difficult to cut and open, get the fruit. In that case, I think God is giving us a clue that we shouldn't eat so much. Because it's so hard to get the fruit of jackfruit, it's a clue from God to tell us to just eat a small amount. Okay. We are going to stop here because we've gone a long time today. Okay, so you may have many questions and many thoughts. But in the next few days, maybe your questions will be answered. And in a few days, we'll give time for question and answers. Okay, so we're going to end here, and then we are going to take a break until 4:45. And then we're going to meet together for our small group session. And Pastor Jolanto, at that session, can you lead out the groups again? Okay, I will tell him which chapters to read and discuss together.